Hi everybody, welcome to my channel, School of Scarlett. I'm so happy to have you here. Today we're going to be talking about the sacredness of all things and how sometimes our knowledge or our perception of what we think we know gets in the way of actually seeing the beauty in the miraculous nature of reality. So I'm going to be talking about that here today, and stay tuned till the end so that we can kind of explore the metaphor of the rose. And so I have something to share with you in terms of what the rose symbolizes for us, in terms of what we're talking about here and seeing the sacredness of everything. So, everything that is in existence and you can see around you is a part of you, it's in connection with you. And for one, that's very big, that's very special, that's very beautiful that it's in connection with you. It's part of who you are. You're in connection with the trees, you're in connection with the air, everything around you is sustaining you. You can't be apart from really any of this. It's all part of you. As soon as you get rid of the trees, as soon as you get rid of the oceans, as soon as you get rid of the fish, the animals, the plants, all of these things, what happens? You can no longer exist as the expression you're expressing, the human. So, right now, you can see that everything is just in connection with one another, it's interconnected. And so, because of this, it's miraculous on its own. But when you have clear eyes to see, when you have the experience of oneness, of unity, everything truly becomes like magical. It has a sparkle to it, it has a newness to it, it has something that is ever changing in every moment. So, although you can look at a flower today, it could be totally different tomorrow. Have you noticed that? Things change, things age, things transform, things go through seasons. This is part of the nature of our reality. So nothing's ever staying the same. Even when you think you've stayed the same or you're the same, you're not the same. You're very different than what you were. I was just talking to a friend about our teenage years and how cringeworthy some of the stuff that we did was. And so it's like we don't even recognize even certain parts of ourselves or certain times of our lives. It seems like it was someone else. It seems like it was a different time. It doesn't even seem like we can connect to that anymore. So the same thing happens within everything in our reality. It really does change. So everything really is new and born fresh in every moment. And this is something that's clearly seen when you've had a shift, because what you see is pretty much just bare and raw. It has no commentary behind it, it has no other thoughts or information that's coming through about it. So, the problem that we come against as a human, as a person, just living our lives, the reason that we miss things, the reasons that we're not in touch with our reality or in deep connection or seeing the beautifulness or the isness of everything is because we're too hung up on our knowledge about something, our prior knowledge about something before we've even seen it today, what we know about that, what we've learned about that, even as far as what we learned about it in kindergarten. The brain has all of these information. So let's, for example, the rose. I have a rose here that I picked this morning. And so this rose here, as a child, I may have experienced something with this rose. I may have picked a rose and it pricked me. So I have this idea of a rose, okay? So based on my experiences. And maybe in kindergarten, I was shown pictures of roses, or I was read a story about a rose, or I read, or saw a movie about a rose and how maybe a prince gave a rose to a princess, or whatever it happened to be. So your brain has already built a story around what a rose is. And so everybody's perception or definition of the rose is going to be very different because it's subjective to each person and their experiences of that rose and what they've picked up along the way. It's that conditioning, it's that programming that I talk about. So a rose technically is not just a rose for most people. A rose has a lot of significance, has these stories behind it that technically don't really exist. They're stories, they're illusions, they're things that your brain has come up with based on everything that it's been shown and knows about the rose at the time it's been around. But what the rose truly is just a rose. It's just a rose. In this moment, it's a brand new rose. It just bloomed the other day. It bloomed a lot more. Today, it's a lot bigger than it was yesterday. So it's changed. It's not the same rose it was yesterday. When I looked at the petals, they were tight around it yesterday. It was like a bud out like this, and then it began to open. And today, look at it now. It's all spread open. And if I take it down and we really look at it closer, it's got little dew, little bits of water all over it in different patterns. And the patterns have changed. And the dew begins to drip. And things begin to happen. The leaves are different. The thorns have changed sizes and have changed even color. So a lot has happened with this rose, but what the brain wants to tell you is this is just a rose, and it brings up the idea of you know everything about the rose. You don't need to stop and look at this rose. You don't need to stop and even smell this rose. You know what roses smell like. You've smelled roses many times. Keep walking. So the brain kind of keeps you on autopilot with blinders on, keeping you not really seeing what's happened, the changes in life, the evolution in life. Now, this is infinity that we're in. This is infinity that we're expressing and that we are. And so everything is not staying the same. We seem to assume that a rose is just a rose, that this sunflower is just a sunflower, or this chair is just a chair. But things do change. They, like I said, age, that's one thing. It's if it's a living thing, it's evolving in a lot of different ways. And so is inanimate objects, but mostly deteriorating. But other things are always changing. Okay. And these things, they also evolve. Sometimes they're not even going to be what you read in a book. They've now changed, and you're beginning to see the changes of this. And this is also happening within the world. The world is changing. Religions are changing. Humans are changing. The way we do relationships is changing. The So many things are changing. Just look around. And so we act so shocked that there's change. It's not shocking when you embrace change, when you see the beautiful sacredness of everything and the miraculous nature of its ever changing, infinite nature. So when you see this, you can really be present in moments, in every moment, because you really do recognize that in every moment, everything truly is new and fresh. It's not what it was. It may, to the brain, appear and look like, oh, yeah, everything's the same, but it's not. It's changed. And only when your eyes are clear can you see this. And when your eyes are clear, do you begin to see so much beauty, so much magic, so much that no one has really ever seen. For one, so much that you have never seen. For example, I've been alive on this earth for many years, right? And it wasn't until I had my awakening that I truly felt that I saw anything. Because after I had my awakening, it was a little bit of a sadness. It only lasted like a moment, but it was this sadness of thinking that I had missed out on seeing, truly seeing life as it was for so long. Because it's truly different. It's really not just seeing it with the eyes, but seeing it with the soul, seeing it in the moment, feeling that it is new, seeing it as it is, taking the time, dissolving time, allowing yourself, no matter how rushed or whatever you think is going on, to really dissolve time and allow yourself to be with those changes and those moments that happen. You'd be surprised. Many times I've thought, oh, I'm going to be late and this and that. But of course, time is an illusion, and I'm the master. So I go ahead and take time with the rose, take time with my animal, take time with whatever it is that I want to, if that's what my heart's desiring. And what happens? Time stops. I get to places on time, I get to places before, and it makes no sense. But I learned this along my twin flame journey that time bends. When you're in love, when you're in your heart, time stops, speeds up. It does many things, just the same as if, let's say, you stub your toe, you hurt yourself, and you're sitting there waiting for someone to come bring you ice or something to take the pain away. It seems like it's taking forever, but it's really only been like a minute or something. It's a perception thing, and you're creating time. You created time. So you create time just like that. You can also slow it down, So that is what is so beautiful about this. When you begin to be present with life, life is present with you, totally present, meaning it's not rushing you, it's not uh, telling you anything, it's allowing you to take it all in, to nourish yourself, to connect with those parts of you that are outside of yourself. So I also brought the rose in here today because I believe it to be a very beautiful symbol for us to remember. See, nature is always showing us different things. Life is truly our teacher here. Although we don't need a teacher, we have everything within us. But if we're looking for a teacher, life is your best teacher. Okay? So it's only reflecting back to you everything you need to know about yourself. It's only reflecting everything back to you. So you're going to find patterns, you're going to find connections and everything that's pointing back to who you are, to your true nature, to the way that I'm explaining reality is. It's going to show that to you. You don't have to take it from me. You can truly just do your own direct experience and experience life for yourself this way. And that is truly the way it was meant to be experienced. It wasn't meant to be experienced by reading a book. It was meant to be experienced by living life, by truly embodying and being that living God in that moment at all times, because that is truly what you are. So the rose is a beautiful symbol, I believe, because it starts off, let's say it's a seed, right? Or there it is, right? It's starting to bulb, it's starting to create itself, right? And it really looks just like this bulb. It looks like this seed, this thing underground, this root looking thing. And there it is. And then it grows into the stem, and it sprouts, it grows more and more, and all of a sudden it's got its leaves, and then it's got all of a sudden a bud. Okay. And so what you would see is it went from seed to this plant that's totally unrecognizable. So what it was, the seed has totally transformed now into a plant. And that seed had to go through a process. That seed had to sit in darkness. That seed had to be in the wet, dark, underground underbelly of the world, where there's worms, where there's, yucky things coming through there that, you may not like. It's down there in that darkness, not knowing what it is, what's happening, just kind of there until it sprouts, right? Until there's life, until something happens from it. And so this is kind of like our process. We are also like a seed. As we come into this world, we really don't know what we are. We're really just taking in information. People are telling us, teaching us, and we are absorbing like that sponge, they say, but really like that seed. We're absorbing, taking in the water, the nutrients, everything. But as we begin to grow, we begin to see we're not a seed. We're not really what we thought we were. We're coming into something else. And it keeps growing, and things are hard, and all of a sudden we got thorns, and we seem like we're, really problematic, and we're just coming against everybody, and everybody's coming against us, and we're fighting the world, and we're just this prickly thing. Then we have leaves, and all of a sudden we feel a little bit of freedom there, but yet we're still, this plant, this stem with leaves. And as that bud begins to come, all of a sudden there's something happening. There's beauty, there's a scent, an aroma, there is something colorful happening. Something is blossoming, something is about to happen here. And so that's where the catalyst happens after all this pain, all this struggle, all of this. All of a sudden there's a shift, and something you never thought could imagine, something you never could have ever thought in your wildest dreams begins to happen. The plant turns itself inside out and blossoms and shows its beauty to the world. And in that moment, it also spreads its aroma and attracts all of life to it with its beauty, with its scent, with its insides now out. Because it's gone within, it's gone through all of this process, and then it's gone within to expose itself and its true nature without, so that everyone else can join in with that. So the rose is a beautiful reminder of how we go into darkness, we grow and we transform into something else, and we take in the light, we become the light, we blossom and we expose our inner truth to the world. And so that other people can also express their inner truth. So it's a beautiful symbol. And so I just wanted to share that with you. I get the pleasure of being around these beautiful roses every day. And so I have some rose bushes out front, and I absolutely love that every day I can have roses. So um, any flower, anything like this is such a gift, such a treasure to have. This is what we call abundance. We think abundance is money, is all of these things. No, it's so many little things throughout the day that are so nourishing and so beautiful that we get to experience. So as I close here today, I just wanted to share a few announcements with you. Thank you so much for watching. If you are new here and you like this content, please subscribe, share my videos with people, get it out there. I have a new unconditional course starting. It's the same course that's going, that's a staple for us. It's the course that orients you to your sacred heart and allows you to really live from that space. And so that is enrolling right now. We have an early bird special right now, so it's a great time to enroll. All that information is in the description and in the comments section. I also wanted to introduce my book. I have a new book coming out called Euphoria. And I wish I had it here. I didn't bring it with me, but it actually has the rose on the cover. And I will have it in my community tab under my YouTube channel. If you'd like to go check it out, I am offering pre-orders right now and pre-ordered signed copies as well. Those will be offered until the end of November. And the actual book comes out December 10th on Amazon. So I'm really excited about this. This book actually kind of goes along with what we talked about a little bit here today. It's a book all about love. It's a book that I took time to really reflect what love really truly was. I observed mothers, animals in nature, nature itself, ecosystems, psychology, many different things, my own experiences of life to compile the longest list of everything that is love, which is so large because, as you know, everything is love. So it's a very long list of beautiful examples of love. And then I had a bit of a sharing to share within that book, something that was arising within me, within my heart that needed to be put into that book. So as my heart took me on that journey, I am sharing the last and final part of my twin flame journey. So Euphoria really is that explosion, that big bang when you come into that awakening, when everything just kind of shifts. So I describe it in the way that it happened. And it is a very unusual experience, and it's not an experience that has really ever been shared that I've ever read or heard anybody else experience in this way. So it's a very unique experience that I held back a little bit from sharing in my first book. So in this book, I'm going to share the experience of that moment, as well as everything you want to know about love. So I would encourage you to get a pre-order copy now, and or a signed copy as well. And let me know what you want to be in your book. Thank you so much for watching today. I appreciate you all and love you all. Thank you so much for watching.